Well, Fox News has learned that the Trump campaign is gearing up to release an ad buy today worth more than $10 million, praising the economy under President Trump, calling it the defining issue of the 2020 race. All of this after Bloomberg reported the campaign's rolling back its ad spending in key swing states. Let's bring in RNC chairwoman Ronna McDaniel. Ronna, good morning to you. I have so many questions for you. The first one would be, why would you scale back the Trump campaign, I should say? Why scale back TV ad spending days, spending 49 days out from Election Day?
Well, the campaign has actually focused on a strategic ad buy based on early voting in states and making sure that they're timing these ad buys when they're going to have the most effect. I will tell you, Sandra, we have seen Biden blanketing the airwaves, and in every state that he's blanketing the airwaves, we've seen the president's numbers improve. So ad buys aren't the same as they used to be. Door knocking, digital, all those other mediums have a lot more effect than they used to. But it is interesting that all the money that Biden is spending is improving his numbers in the states that we're looking at.
But, I mean, Bloomberg's reporting this is all because of a cash crunch, which you and I have already had a chance to chat about, brought on by spending of staff and operations, and therefore the scale back in the ad spending. And reportedly, the campaign is abandoning ad spending altogether in some key states where the president is trailing Joe Biden by 4 points with the Real Clear Politics average of polls in both Michigan and Pennsylvania. So can you make the same case there, Ronna?
Well, we've seen the president's numbers improve in Michigan. He just had a rally last week in Freeland, and I will tell you in our internals, we have him leading in Michigan right now. So we've seen a steady increase with the president in many of these states since the Mount Rushmore speech. But what I'll say is Bloomberg put $1 million on TV. Biden's blanketing the airwaves. It does not have the same impact it used to. So the campaign is saying, let's be strategic. Let's focus on early voting. Let's focus on absentee voting. And let's make sure we're putting these ad buys in when it makes the most effect in turning out our vote. And we're doubling down on knocking doors and digital and all those other things that we're doing to turn out the vote that Biden's completely abandoned. We're knocking 1 million doors a week. Biden's knocking 0, on top of the fact that we actually have a candidate who's out campaigning, and Joe Biden continues to bunker down in the basement.
He's out on the campaign trail now. I guess you could make the case that it took him a while, but he is back out there. The advertising analytics, if I can put this out, this is a state-by-state breakdown, Ronna, of some battleground states, and clearly you see the numbers for the president's spending pale in comparison to that of Joe Biden. There's obviously concern about this cash crunch inside the Trump campaign. Biden clearly has more money to spend. Is that a problem for the president's reelection campaign?
I can talk about the RNC, and we have doubled the DNC raise this year, and we have $100 million cash on hand, and we're going to this election with more money than we've ever had. The campaign is going to have the resources it needs to make sure that the president gets reelected. Again, Biden can blanket all the airways all he wants, but when he's not out on the campaign trail and he's running on things like, I'm going to raise taxes on 82% of American families, and I'm going to kill energy jobs and make sure everybody's paying more for gas and heating their home this winter, these are things that are not winning issues. And you know what? He didn't do an event this whole last weekend. The president was blanketing Nevada. He was in California. Today he's going to have this historic peace deal that he signed between Israel and the UAE. The president is getting things done at a rapid clip. And Joe Biden, does 2 campaign events a week? I'm sorry, this is not somebody who's running to earn votes. This is somebody who's sitting and thinking he's entitled to this presidency. And President Trump has done what he's always done. He's going to earn it, and he's going to earn every single vote one day at a time.
But there is this new ad buy that Fox News is exclusively reporting on, 8 figures, around $10 million, we're told, and it presents a return to the economy message. We saw the president on that law and order message. Why make that pivot back to the economy?
Well, consistently, we've recognized that the American people trust President Trump to rebuild this economy. Joe Biden has been in Washington for 47 years. He's never started a business. He's never held a job outside of Washington. And this is something Americans care deeply about.
But was the law and order message not working?
Turn around. Oh, I think they both work. I mean, we've seen the law and order message work. Joe Biden talking about reimagining the police, getting rid of cash bail. I mean, his record speaks for itself, but it's also talking about the economy. This is a primary issue for American voters. President Trump built the best economy once. He's going to be the person to do it again, and the great American comeback is going to happen under Trump.
All right, some are questioning whether or not this was a Freudian